Welcome to I Am Everything. And I am your host, Venus. So, this is a space for people who resonate or those that have an open mind, because for today's podcast, we are starting off real strong. So, are you ready? Because today's episode is about being God. I am God. And before anyone freaks out, let me be very clear. When I say I am God, I am not saying it in an egotistical way. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else, because I am not. And I'm not saying I rule over other people. Absolutely not. I'm saying it in the only way that actually makes sense to me. I am the God of my life. Because I control my mind, and if I can control my mind, then my reality has no choice but to eventually match to me. And it doesn't always happen instantly. There are cases that it does, but it's not always instant, because the physical world is much more denser than, I would say, the spiritual world. Think about it. Thought comes first. Form comes after. Just look around you right now. Look, where are you? Are you on your bed? Are you on the couch? Are you in the kitchen? Are you holding your phone? Maybe you're driving, listening to this. Maybe you're drinking something. Everything around you existed in someone's mind before it existed here in the physical world. Take your phone, for example. Someone had to imagine a device where humans could communicate across the world. Then they built it. Then they refined it. Then they evolved it. Think about phones 10 years ago, 20 years ago, compared to now. And it is still evolving, because every year we get new phones. And that's when it clicked for me that if creation works that way, if thought precedes form, then why wouldn't my life work the same way? If I can envision something and then take steps toward it, I am creating. Just like God created the world, I can create my own world. And that's what I mean when I say I am God. I do not follow everyone else's rules. I do not live according to expectations that do not fit me. I am not hurting anyone. I am not forcing outcomes, and I am definitely not manipulating anyone. I am focused on my path and my path alone. My goals are healthy. They're aligned to me, and they make me feel so much more joyful. My life makes me feel fuller. It gives me more meaning. And if anything, they inspire other people to realize that they can do the same, because we are not different. I am not more special than you. You're not more special than me. You yourself can also create. You are also a God. And we do not see a lot of authentic people. At least I do not see that many authentic people as much anymore, because most people are taught to outsource their power. And we can talk more about that after the break. Welcome back to I Am Everything, where we have been discussing that I am God. And as I was saying, that most people are taught to outsource their power, which is very weird, because me saying I'm God isn't a new idea. It's actually very ancient, because even in spirituality, when you go look in the Bible, it literally says God is within us, not outside, not in the sky. God is within us. Science, for example, tells us particles respond to observation and command. And even when it comes to energy, energy responds to intention. Even language tells on itself. We call it spelling for a reason, because whenever we speak, we cast spells with our voice, with our language, with our words. What you speak, you create. What you think, you reinforce. So, if you're creating anyways, then why wouldn't you create something good? Why wouldn't you train your mind to expect ease, abundance, pleasure, alignment, and trust? There are so many experiments that actually show this. For example, there's the rice experiment. There's also the water experiment. You can Google this up. You can watch videos. There's so many videos. You can even do the experiments yourself. For example, talk to rice with love. It stays intact. Talk to it with hate. It decays. Ignore it. It also decays. So that comes to show that neglect and negativity have very similar effects. Same with water. Water holds memory, and you're mostly water. Humans are about 70% water. So what you speak into your water and what you speak to yourself becomes that. Anyways, let's do one more break and we will be back. Welcome back to I'm Everything, where we have been talking about being God. And to continue on what I was saying, if you do not consciously direct your mind, you end up becoming a byproduct of your environment. Unfortunately, most people grow up in chaos, in trauma, in conditioning, and I do not blame them. But trauma just reproduces more trauma unless someone decides to interrupt the pattern and change things. So there is this experiment that was done on rats where they lived in a cage for so long that when the cage was removed, they still stayed inside the invisible boundaries. They were free, they just didn't know it. That's how most people live. And I personally refuse to live that way. So yeah, I am God, you are God. Not over each other, but over our own lives. And this podcast, this is me exploring that truth, learning how to embody it more fully and inviting you to do the same, if it resonates, of course. But to end off this podcast, I will be giving you some affirmations you can use that I also use myself. So, number one is I choose consciousness over conditioning. That's actually an affirmation I found from one of my favorite creators. So I choose consciousness over conditioning. I choose consciousness over conditioning. And you can repeat after me as I say this. I choose consciousness over conditioning. I choose consciousness over conditioning. The second one is I am the creator of my life. 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 And my last one is I am God. I know not everyone feels very comfortable saying that, so if you would rather have a different affirmation, we can say God is within me. So I am God because God is within me. I am God because God is within me. I am God because God is within me. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I really hope you learned something. I hope that you start consciously creating your own life and being more intentional with your thoughts and your creations. Thank you so much for listening, and just remember, I am what I am, and I am everything, and so are you. See you next time.
Electricast.